How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a brand new video. My name is Ruffle Rattler, of course. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a rant for you all. I have a rant video. I haven't done a rant in a bit of time now, but I want to do a rant. And it all stems from this right here. Now, let me explain why this is a problem and what this is all about to begin with. So, this is both going to be a rant video and also a news video. So, let's start with the news aspect of this first, which is that the Pokemon Company and Timi Media Group announced development of a new game. Details at Serbi.net, and if we go to Serbi.net, we'll see that what they're making is another mobile game. Now, thing about Timi as a company, that company is apparently under Tencent. Now, Tencent, for those who do not know, is a gigantic conglomerate of a company. Gigantic. It's huge in China. Gigantic company, and I do not like Tencent, okay? I generally speaking do not like Tencent because they really push hardcore on those kind of like really just kind of disgusting like business practices with microtransactions and stuff. They really push that to the extreme. But let's look at this here. So, it's been announced that the Pokemon Company and the Chinese development studio Timi Media Group, an offshoot of Tencent, who have developed games such as Arena of Valor and Call of Duty Mobile, are working together on a game. At present, it will be unclear what this game is going to be and if it will be available internationally, but we'll provide full details and when they come out, so be sure to check back. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm quickly going to insert a little thing here. I know this might seem a little bit random, but in the middle of this video, here I end up messing up and saying that it's confirmed that it's going to be a mobile game. It is not confirmed that the game that's being made by the Timi Group, like development group or whatever these guys are called, the Timi development group, they're not confirming here. There is no confirmation that it's a mobile game. The article I read over here said that, you know, this article from .esports.com said that Tencent's Timi Studio Group is creating a mobile Pokemon game, and I assumed that was real, but there is no actual confirmation though, because apparently the Timi Group, they make mostly mobile games. Majority of their stuff is mobile games. I think we can even see it here if we go to their page real quick. I think right here, see, if you look at their page here, you got mobile games if you go to there, but they have like apparently other stuff as well. But I think mobile games are their biggest market. Like, see, all these are mobile games right here, but there's just like stuff missing here, like other stuff that they've made. But apparently they apparently have made some PC games as well. This is coming from Jinx Club. Jinx Club, of course, being Chinese and probably knowing a bit more about this. So there is a possibility that the game isn't going to be a mobile, but I think the fact that they mostly make mobile games and that that we haven't seen any spin-off games in general for Pokemon recently would mostly imply that this is most likely a mobile game. Now, it isn't confirmed, okay? At least I can't see anything that inherently confirms it, that it's a mobile game. But, you know, generally speaking, they make mostly mobile games. They do make some PC games, PC gaming, aka, you know, computer, but they mainly make like mobile games seemingly. Like, that's where their biggest market is. You know what I mean? So it makes sense. And also, that's all I've got to say for that one, guys. So yeah, either way, let's get into the rest of the video, shall we? But there's an inherent problem here with mobile games, and let's get into now what the rant is here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you guys have noticed this for the last few years, and of course, if you don't care about, like, spin-off games, then maybe this video isn't for you. Like, if you don't care about spin-off games, you can just leave this video right now, because it won't really serve you any purpose. Like, just inherently, I'm being just, you know, upfront and honest, it won't serve you any purpose. But for those of you who do care about spin-off games, this will serve a purpose to you, and you'll understand why I'm frustrated, and maybe it'll, like, you know, make it a little bit more apparent to you as well, like why we haven't seen any spin-off games recently. So let's start with the biggest problem here. We aren't getting any more spin-off games. Spin-off games have just stopped coming our way. If you guys have noticed this recently, the last spin-off game we officially had released was, technically speaking, Pokken Tournament DX, the re-released version on the Switch. That was technically speaking the newest one. Pokemon Quest is also like a spin-off, but unfortunately it's also a mobile. So I count it as a mobile game because that's, you know, where it currently is also playable, but it is also available on the Switch. If you want to count Pokemon Quest as a spin-off game as well, that's fair enough, right? But inherently to me, it seems like it was a game that was aimed to be like more like a mobile type game, which, you know, is why it's also available on the phone. But let's just, you know, look at it that aspect, right? So beyond those two, what else has been released in the last few years? Nothing. We haven't seen anything, right? Except a bunch of mobile games. We have had a tremendous amount of mobile games being released. Like, literally, I think way too many at this point have been released just 24/7. I think if we look through Pokemon mobile games and we search up, we will find quite a lot of them. Here we go. So, mobile apps. for Pokemon. You've got Pokemon Masters that's coming out this year, right? You've got, well, Pokemon Pass doesn't really count because I'm not sure that's, like, not really a video game. You got Pokemon Quest, you got Magikarp Jump, you got Pokemon Playhouse, you got Pokemon Duel, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Shuffle Mobile, and Pokemon Trading Card Game Online on the phone as well. That's 8 games on the phone, whereas if you look at where these were released, right, I think Pokemon Duel came out, like, about 2017, 2016, something like that. I think if we press it here, we can actually see its release date. I think it says it somewhere around here. Yeah, here you go. So 2017, like I thought, came out in 2017, right? After the success they saw the success of like Pokemon Go, and they thought, okay, cool, let's do another thing, right? Pokemon Go, of course, came out in 2016. As we'll remember, July 6th, 2016, ended up being a very popular game for them, which is why they kept pushing it. Then they released Pokemon Quest, which came out on the Switch first, but then came over to mobile. Then you got Magikarp, well, before that, actually, we had Magikarp Jump, right? Which is also a game which released in 2017. So that was 2 mobile games in a single year, both Pokemon Duel and Pokemon Magikarp Jump, right? In that year, we also had no other spin-off games released. You know, there was nothing brand new there. We also had Shuffle Mobile, Pokemon Shuffle Mobile, which is still making the money. They're still a weird audience for that. That one also, though, came out before, you know, 2016's Pokemon Go, so that was a little bit earlier than that. But let's see, we've got Pokemon Masters, of course, coming out this year. So there's a chunk of, like, new games on mobile coming out for the last few years. But we haven't seen anything in terms of brand new spin-offs, right? Like, we haven't seen a brand new Mystery Dungeon game. Like, I love Mystery Dungeon, but we haven't seen a brand new one. And honestly, yeah, this video right here makes a lot of sense. Like, these might be the last games. Super Mystery Dungeon games might be the last ones. Because we haven't seen a brand new game for ages now. You know what I mean? We just haven't seen a brand new Mystery Dungeon game for ages. There was no Mystery Dungeon game for Gen 7, which there had been, like, you know, new games for a while there, you know what I mean, coming out, like, you know, for several generations, you know, they would release them, but we just haven't had a new one now. Like, it's just been nothing, man. It's just been empty, dude. Which is sad. It's just really sad, man. So that's that. That's not the only thing, though. We haven't had anything to Ranger series. Now, of course, Ranger is a series that not as many people like, but I know my brother loves it. He played it as a kid, and he loves this series. There's other people out there who do also like it. There's also Pokemon Conquest, which only got 1 game. No secondary versions to that, nothing like that. There's also Pokemon Colosseum, which is a beloved game, like a really beloved game for the GameCube, which hasn't gotten a re-release, a remaster, nothing like that. Just been left in the past. Also, you've got Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, another beloved game that people freaking love that just hasn't gotten any love or any re-releases or any follow-ups or nothing like that. Just been left, again, behind in the past. Now, of course, these 2 games were kind of meant to be kind of like Pokemon's first, like, forte into, like, you know, an RPG 3D game, because at the time Game Freak wasn't making 3D games yet. So this was their first try at that. You know what I mean? Like, not Game Freak, but, like, the company made these. It was, like, their first try for the Pokemon franchise into 3D properly, besides Pokemon Stadium, right, with kind of a more of an RPG formula, and they did it, and it, you know, it went really well. Now, what am I getting to here, guys? Well, you might be like, okay, but that's a few, you know, mobile games, you know, that are being released, right? But there's a lot of, like, you know, spin-off games. You can't say, like, that all of the spin-off games, you know, I mean, that there weren't a lot of spin-off games in the past. Well, that's the thing. They were a lot of in the past, but there are no anymore. And you might be like, oh, but, you know, like, what's eight Pokemon mobile games? So what's that? Like, let's see. So we've got, like, what? Pokemon Masters, Pokemon Quest, Pokemon Duel, that's 3, Pokemon Go, 4, Pokemon Shuffle Mobile, 5, Trading Card Game on the mobile, 6, Magikarp Jump, 7, this Playhouse game as well is 8, so about 8 or so, right, in total, not counting all the other apps that aren't really games, but about 8 to 7 actual games. And on top of that, remember, guys, we also have this brand new game that's being made by Timi. There's also, that's 9, and also, there's another game by the same people who are making Pokemon Masters, the company called DNA. They are also working on another mobile game to be released next year in March. Another mobile game, okay? That's 2 games. Pokemon Masters this year, and another mobile spin-off, not really spin-off, like, yeah, spin-off, I guess, what we were, mobile spin-offs. But there are no console spin-offs anymore. We haven't had a Mystery Dungeon game in years. We haven't had Ranger in a fucking decade. We haven't had Conquest. We haven't had a Colosseum type game, or an XD Gale of Darkness game, or a Stadium game, or a Battle Revolution game. We aren't seeing spin-offs anymore, man. And that just pisses me off, because it's pretty obvious why they're doing the mobile games. And listen, this has nothing to do with Game Freak, okay? Listen, do not blame Game Freak for this. If you start blaming Game Freak for this, then you are totally out of the waters. This has nothing to do with Game Freak. Like, sure, there might be an overall, like, overarching thing that's going on, but this has to do with the Pokemon Company, okay? The Pokemon Company, not Game Freak themselves, but the Pokemon Company and Ishihara, okay? Ishihara is sitting at the top, and they're making choices up there with, like, investors and stuff to move Pokemon over to mobile. Why? Because making games for mobile is way cheaper, way quicker, and has the potential for way bigger profits, right? So you're getting three great things there. Cheaper work, right? Cheaper products to make, easier to make and quicker to make, and the potential for higher profits than a mainline game, which is a console game, right? Whereas a console game takes a lot more time, a lot more effort, you know what I mean, a lot more, like, you know, money spent to make it, and has a higher potential of getting less profits because not everybody will buy a spin-off, you know what I mean, not everybody would be interested in it. Whereas a mobile game is usually free, you just download it for free, you know what I mean, you just press the free download, you get the game, and there you go, you got the game, it's in your hands, you know what I mean, you just play it, you know what I mean, you got it in your hands, it's your, you know, you don't need to, like, do anything further beyond that, you don't need to spend any money, but they will almost try to force you to spend money with microtransactions, and that's where these games make the most money. Microtransactions. They're not even micro anymore. It's just transactions, okay? They're taking your money by you buying in-game items. And sometimes that shit will stack up more than if you bought the game. If you buy a game that's $60, you pay $60 for that game, and that should be your game, right? You paid for it. That game should be a full finished product that's full, ready to go. You should be able to play it fully and enjoy yourselves. It should be a good game, right? Whereas mobile games, they give you a product. You don't know if it's complete or not. It's quote-unquote free, but the game will force you, in certain aspects, to end up having to spend money to continue playing the game, or spend money to make actual progress. That's what they will do. They'll make these, like, weird things, and they'll force you into it, right? By creating these, like, situations where you have to spend money. And I'm just tired of mobile games, man. Like, listen, Pokemon Masters out of all these games looks like to be the best, right? Pokemon Go, I don't care for Pokemon Go. To me, Pokemon Go is just a boring game. I don't like it. And also, by the way, if anybody tries to tell me that Let's Go is a spin-off game, it isn't. It is not a spin-off game. Don't try me right now. I cannot stand that bullshit. Let's Go is not a spin-off game. It's a mainline Pokemon console game. It's a mainline game made by Game Freak, okay? Game Freak doesn't make spin-offs. It's a mainline Pokemon RPG, even said by Masuda Omori himself and Game Freak themselves. It's a mainline game. Even Nintendo says it's a mainline game, not a spin-off. A spin-off is this, like right here. This is a spin-off. This is a spin-off. This is a spin-off. This is a spin-off, and this is a spin-off. Let's Go is not, okay? So do not try me with that one, because it isn't, okay? But overall, I'm just annoyed that we're getting so many mobile games. Like, Pokemon Master is probably going to be the best one out of these. But the problem is that it's going to be a gacha game, just ready there to steal your money by forcing you to open 1 million packs to get the one character you want that's actually useful to use in, you know, in play and, you know, in battles and in ranked and shit. You know, you know how this is going to work. You know how that game's going to work. You know how Pokemon Master is going to be like. And you know what's going to happen with Pokemon from now on. They're going to go down the same route as all these other companies, making just mobile games, leaving the console behind. Like, it's just gonna be like that. And I'm not talking about, like, you know, the end of Pokemon mainline games, you know, like, from Game Freak. No, those are gonna keep coming, okay? Mainline games are the kind of foundation for Pokemon. Sure, Game Freak is going to give less F's about it. They're not going to care as much about it. Like, they're not going to give as many flip-flops about it. They're not going to really, you know, care as much about it anymore, because they clearly just, you know, Pokemon may not be their #1 priority anymore. They want to work on other projects, which is fine. Hey, they're a company that gets to do whatever they want. But we're going to keep getting mainline games. They're not going to stop doing that, okay? Game Freak has a huge impact on the Pokemon franchise. They got to keep making their games, and they're going to keep making their games. I just don't expect them to get any better or better as time goes on. I'm just expecting it, like, incremental increases in, you know, just what it looks like a little bit. But overall, I think the game's going to just stay where we are right now with Sword and Shield. I think that's where we're going to stay in terms of quality, and I don't think we're going to go over beyond that. And who knows, maybe Sword and Shield will be amazing games. But this, in terms of mobile games, I'm just tired of this, man. Listen, Sword and Shield could be the best games ever, but seriously, where are the spin-offs, man? Where's my Mystery Dungeon game? Where are my freaking, like, you know, remakes or just re-release or something with, you know, Colosseum and XD Gale of Darkness? Also, sorry about baby brother in the background crying. He's a pain in the ass. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the end of the video. That's going to be the end of the rant. If you did enjoy it, drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, then, yeah, I don't know. Just check out my other stuff and leave a like down below, guys. Let's try to hit 600 likes in this video, guys. Let's try to hit 600. Either way, have a great day. Bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen, and peace out.